What if greatness is not a gift you're born with, but a weather you learn to make inside yourself? On a steep island of lava rock and Atlantic wind, a boy learns to run uphill. He is small, quick, all elbows and ambition, chasing a ball that feels like a ticket. Streets are his first stadium, walls his first teammates, dusk his first deadline. He watches older boys and counts their habits like a scout. He catalogs weaknesses in himself with the stubborn tenderness of a craftsman. Hunger is not a metaphor here. It is dinner arriving late. But the boy finds a currency the world accepts everywhere: repetition. He strikes the ball again and again until the seam of leather feels like braille under his foot. He jumps at laundry lines to steal inches from gravity. He sprints on sand because sand doesn't lie. Madeira is not a detour. It is a furnace. The boy decides that pain is feedback, not fate. He will outwork the doubt, outrun the noise, outgrow the island while never leaving its lessons behind. If you enjoy stories that inspire, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more. One day a boat carries him to the mainland. A bus carries him to a dorm. And a dream, already awake, carries him into a life where the distance between what is and what could be will be measured in lungs and courage. Sporting Lisbon is a new planet, a dormitory full of strangers, routines with whistles, discipline with a schedule. He is still slim, still raw, but his appetite is organized now. He lifts, he eats, he sleeps, he dribbles through combs like solving a maze at speed. Homesickness visits at night. He answers with footwork in the morning. Coaches see something sharp. A winger who treats the touchline like a violin string and plays it without fear. He is not a prodigy in myth. He is a student who refuses to leave the classroom, crossing drills until calves sting, stepovers until ankles write cursive in midair, finishing patterns until the net sounds like applause. On a preseason evening, he faces a famous club and turns a friendly into a biography draft. Defenders reach and find air. Cameras find a face and a future. A manager in England watches and understands. This boy's ceiling is still under construction. A transfer will arrive, and with it, a weather system of expectation. He packs the same things he brought from the island: hunger, humility, before tape, and the decision to treat work like a language he must speak fluently every day. The next chapter will be faster, colder, louder, and perfect for a heart that loves big hills. England is weather with teeth. Rain needles the face. The schedule eats the unprepared. He arrives as a trickster with electricity in his boots and is asked to become a weapon with a calendar in its heart. He learns the weight room. He learns that end product is not an insult. It is a demand. He learns to turn decoration into decision. Under floodlights, he grows. Muscle stitches onto ambition. Stepovers remain, but now they are invitations instead of indulgences. He studies runs that split center backs like an axe through old wood. He studies headers until he hangs in the air long enough to mail a letter. He studies free kicks until the ball obeys an angle. Only he and the wind believe in. Silverware arrives league titles, a European night where he rises and the stadium roars like a foundry. Awards follow like confirmations. Success edits him. He becomes ruthless without becoming small. He is no longer a kid showing off in a mirror. He is a professional using mirrors to correct angles. The number on his shirt becomes a brand others will chase. The standard becomes a shadow opponents must run inside of. Manchester does not soften him. It fires him into a sharper shape of man. And then, in a city of white, he will chase history with both hands. Madrid is a promise written in marble. Here, you will be measured against ghosts. He arrives and treats the challenge like a feast he's trained to finish. Goals come like weather left foot, right foot, headers that look illegal. Runs into channels that turn defenders into landmarks. Rivalry paints the league in two colors. Records break their own backs. He becomes a forward who manufactures inevitability. The penalty area becomes his laboratory. He times the second run, ghosts to the back post, appears where the camera is a half-second late. In Europe, he treats knockout nights like exams. He wrote the answer key for. He lifts the trophy that glitters like a city's self-portrait and does it again until repetition turns myth into method. The body, though, is a negotiator. He listens, adapts. Less wing, more 9. Less dribble, more dagger. He keeps adding counters movement as deception, pause as acceleration, economy as cruelty, award stack, golden boots, global honors. But the truer currency is durability, the audacity to make excellence look like a habit. He is loved. He is loathed. He is loud in numbers that don't care about your feelings. And through it all, he remains faithful to the thing that first paid him in joy. The work no one sees after the cameras sleep. On an evening in Europe, he rises horizontally and bicycle kicks a law of physics into silence. Even opposing fans stand. Respect, like gravity, is not optional. International colors feel different. The anthem tightens the throat. The jersey weighs like memory. He carries a country that knows Sodat and turns it into belief. There are near-misses tournaments that taste like unfinished business. Then comes a night of broken script, a final where fate tests his knee. And he must lead from the touchline with a voice instead of a sprint. He transforms injury into influence, rage into guidance. Teammates become taller in his presence. A nation that feared it might always be a beautiful almost inhales and finds courage. The trophy, when it arrives, is not just metal. It is a letter mailed to every village that raised a dreamer. Later, another title joins proof that legacy can be cumulative, not episodic. He keeps scoring internationally until the numbers break language. Most, first, again. Milestones cease to be peaks and become punctuation. Records do not love anyone. They submit to the relentless. He remains the man who points to his chest as if to say, "Pressure lives here, rent paid in full." The symbol becomes a mentor in real time. Younger teammates learn that standards are portable. The flag sits more easily on the shoulders when you practice carrying weight every morning before the sun has made up its mind. Every career faces the same judge: time. He does not negotiate with it. He trains for the trial. Nutrition becomes scripture. Recovery, a second profession. Micro-margins, an obsession that keeps the engine young. He changes leagues, cities, systems not as retreat, but as reinvention. New teammates learn the dialect of his runs. New opponents memorize his shadow. There are controversies, disagreements, headlines with teeth. He answers where he always has leverage, in the rectangle of grass measured by goals and moments. He remains polarizing because gravity is polarizing when you are the planet it pulls around. The noise is part of the weather now. He brings his own climate anyway. The father appears more often at the edges of the frame, children on the pitch. A hand held during an anthem, a smile sent to a stand where family is a private scoreboard. The competitor remains undiluted. The person has more rooms now. Brands orbit. But the center is still a boy from an island who decided boredom would be his ally and discomfort his coach. He keeps finding ways to matter late in games and late in years. The net remains interested in his signature greatness. It turns out, is not a place you arrive. It is a lease you must renew under new landlords. Age, context, change. Some legends live as arguments. Is he the greatest? Does style matter more than some? Fans build cathedrals of opinion. Numbers build their own sermons. He does not curate the debate. He feeds it by persisting. Milestones continue to arrive like late trains that still get you home league titles across countries, scoring charts that read like altitudes. He was once a winger who danced. He became a forward who finished. He remains a professional who prepares. That is the work as identity, hunger as hygiene, standards as hospitality. You offer your future self. He taught millions that confidence is not swagger. It is receipts. He taught rivals that rage can be fuel if you raise its octane with structure. He taught sponsors that fame is a byproduct, not a business plan. The boy from Madeira outran the island without outrunning its truth. You climb by deciding that climbing is home. And even if the argument never ends, the answer stands in plain sight for those who can read it. Consistency at scale. Over time, under pressure, when the lights dim, he will still be in a gym somewhere, making sure tomorrow owes him nothing he didn't earn. Cristiano Ronaldo's story is not a fairy tale. It is a manual. It begins with a hill and ends with a habit. Show up, tell the truth to the mirror, repeat until the mirror nods. He proved that speed can learn patience, that style can marry substance, that ambition can grow into stewardship of teammates, of fans, of the private self you must live with when stadiums go dark. Legacy will count trophies, goals, and records until the breath runs out. But the deeper inheritance is portable. The decision to turn pressure into purpose, criticism into calibration, and time into an honest ally. The island built the will. The world provided the exam. The man wrote his answers in boots and sweat. And long after the debate cools, the standard remains of whether you can build inside yourself. Every morning, wherever you begin, if this story moved you, leave a comment and tell us where you're watching from. And don't forget, every like, comment, and subscription helps the algorithm share more stories that inspire. Thank you for supporting this channel.